Hey guys, it's your girl, Queen I, and today I bring you in the kitchen with me to cook something very special on a very special day and maybe for a very special person, period. So if you want to know what I'm throwing down today, keep on watching.
Fire up your lighter, float on with the waves.
Hey guys, so today my very special meal for my very special person is going to be stuffed salmon with lobster, cream cheese, and spinach, and a little bit of Parmesan. And on the side, I'm going to be making a garlic and herb mashed potato. So guys, wait till the end and you'll see my mom's reaction. So I already cleaned my salmon. My lobster is currently defrosting, and I already peeled and cut my potatoes. So now I'm going to be putting my potatoes in the water to boil. So let's get that started. So because my salmon is going to be stuffed, you have to cut a little pocket inside to stuff your filling. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieve this. I take the salmon on its thickest part. I take the knife, and you want to be careful because you don't want to go through to the other side. So I just puncture it like this, and I just go slowly like this. And if it's not deep enough, you take the knife. I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to go back in and make it deeper. And there we go. Okay guys, so this is how I personally want to cook the lobster. I find it easier to just turn it this way. Cut down the middle. And I'm doing this so I can get the lobster meat out of the shell. I make a little crack. And listen guys, I'm not a professional, okay? So don't be telling me I don't know how to hold a knife, okay? I'm just doing what I do, how I do. I'm just cutting the lobster in half, and then I'm going to pull out the meat. Sometimes there is a black line going through the lobster that you want to remove. This clip, I'm just showing you to chop up that lobster. Hey ladies, if your man don't appreciate you after this meal, girl, dump him. So now onto seasoning the salmon. So guys, once you start seasoning the salmon, you want to really get in there with all of the seasonings. You want to make sure you get seasoning inside of the pocket that you just cut. You want to really coat all the parts of the salmon. You don't want any dry parts of the salmon. You want it to be tasty. So make sure you season the salmon good, and that's for all meat actually. And at the end of this clip, you're going to see me rubbing the salmon together. That's just because I really want to make sure everything is well put together and marinated. So guys, here I'm just adding some seasonings to my lobster. The Obey bottle was open and I poured a little bit too much of the Obey, but it didn't come out salty, so just be careful. Guys, don't be afraid to get your hands in there and rub the seasoning in. So now you just want to check on your potatoes. You want to poke them like this to see if they are soft. Today for my garlic and herb mashed potatoes, I'm going to be using butter, my garlic and herb seasoning, a little bit of evaporating milk, ginger garlic pimento seasoning, some cream cheese, and a little bit of salt. So guys, here I just start off with mashing the potatoes. I basically just keep going back and forth between the butter, the evaporating milk, to soften up the potatoes a little bit. The evaporating milk does not really have a taste to me. You can also use heavy cream if you want. I just keep doing that back and forth until the potatoes are soft. So at this point, I start adding my garlic and herb seasoning and also my garlic pimento seasoning. As you can see that I added more milk. This is just to get my potatoes soft. As you can see, it's still a bit clumpy, and I keep doing this. So guys, here I'm adding in my cream cheese, and this is going to also soften the mashed potatoes as I mash them. Also, when I added the cream cheese, it lost a little bit of flavor, so I started seasoning again with my 2 seasonings that I have there. Actually ended up using that whole cream cheese. Well, basically I was tasting it. It really didn't have that much flavor, so I went in with adobo, and I also went in with some crushed red pepper. So this clip, I got my mom to taste it to tell me if it was missing anything. I thought it was too salty, but she said no, it wasn't. It was good to go. So my potatoes are now done. I'm going to take my spinach, which is already pre-washed, and I'm going to add it to the pan. So I'm just playing around with it, tossing it around in the pan so it doesn't cook too much, tossing it in the butter, and eventually I add all of that spinach that is in that container. I used a whole carton of spinach. So here I'm using the same pan that I used for the spinach to cook the lobster, just to keep the flavors together. So I'm just going to toss it around until it gets whitish, pinkish. You don't want to cook the lobster too much because you don't want it to overcook when you stuff it in the salmon. Here I added a little bit more butter because I seen the pan was starting to get a little too hot and it started to burn a little, so I added butter. Guys, this is the color you want your lobster to be. Once it looks like this, take it out of the pan and put it into a clean bowl. Now let it cool down. Guys, the spinach has cooled, so now I'm going to add the cream cheese to it. So now that the lobster is cool, I'm going to add it to the spinach and the cream cheese. So guys, here I'm just taking the mixture and I'm stuffing it in the salmon, and I'm making sure to get really deep up in there, okay? Stuff the salmon, don't be afraid, okay? So guys, here I made a mistake. The oil was not hot enough when I put the salmon in, so therefore the salmon skin broke off and got really stuck. But you will see in the next clip, I made sure the pan was hot and the second batch came out a lot better. So this time the pan is hot, and I only put one piece of salmon in at a time, and that absolutely did the trick. You will see when I flip it, it came out beautiful and golden. Woo! I flipped it, and it didn't break. Oh yeah, go girl. Do you guys see the color? It looks so good. So here you see the salmon on a grill. I put it there so the oil can drip into that pot. So guys, these are the items that I'm going to be using to make my sauce. I have butter, honey, brown sugar, and hoisin sauce. Here I'm adding the butter to the hot pot. Once the butter starts to melt down, I'm going to add my other ingredients. It does not really matter what order you add the ingredients in, as long as you add the butter first. So here I started to add the honey. It gets a little messy, guys, so just be careful. Don't pour too much. Don't be like me. So this clip, you're going to see me mixing the honey into the butter. Very soon I'm going to add the hoisin sauce, and I have some brown sugar that is already open, so I'm going to be using that before I open that box. And I'm just going to continue to keep mixing them all together. and you want to stop and taste as you go so you can figure out what you need. Now here, if you want your sauce to be thicker, you can add cornstarch. I really didn't want my sauce to be that thick because I was just gonna like rub it on top of the salmon skin for like a little glaze. The final result, it came out so beautiful. It tasted amazing. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me cook this meal, and I also hope you took some notes. Let me know if you've ever made stuffed salmon before, what you stuffed it with. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. This is my mom, so she's gonna be tasting the food that I made today, and also this is the lady behind the calypso salad. So yeah, just I want to see her reaction. Dang, Mom, turn it up.
My calypso salad. Perfect meal. Well done.
Thank you, Mommy.